Hi. So we're gonna try this again. I'm having audio issues, but hopefully the sound is working. In this live stream, I'm sharing 11 ways that I remain calm in chaos, because chaos is not something you can predict. And I feel like when having a tower moment, it can feel like you're gonna plummet to your face and die. And there's a way to not do it. There's a way to stay calm and find a way to alchemize it. But hold on, let me just check the sound, make sure it's on. Hopefully it is. I keep seeing someone come in. Hopefully I'm working. Can you let me know if the sound is working? Because I don't know. Oh my gosh. This is so annoying. I'm about to just use my MacBook freaking audio. YouTuber things. Where is it? Where are your church? Oh, okay, it's working. Wow. I don't know what happened because I didn't do anything differently. Sometimes I'll start the live stream and my mic just chooses my mic just chooses not to work, but now it's working. And I wanted to do this live stream in the midst of the sun setting, and I'm hoping to get through it before the sun sets. If you're hopping in, hi, welcome. Feel free to chime in or ask any questions. If you want to share what chaos you're overcoming, I think I'll share one of the chaotic things that's going on in my life. I'm doing this video because I'm in the midst of chaos myself, and it's not it's like people always compliment how calm I can be in the midst of chaos. And I am calm because through calmness you can find solutions. Through calmness you can find a soft cushion to fall on if you're having a tower moment. You can't find your tower moment if you're you can't find the solution if you're panicking. And it just makes the experience worse. So we're gonna get into it. I'm gonna share my 11 ways. Maybe drinking some body armor lights. This is my first time getting dragon brew. What is up with all these loud cars? Gosh, so disrespectful. um, I had one last night. I usually always go for the pomegranate one or the strawberry kiwi. This one actually is really, really good. This is not sponsored, but Body Armor Light is so freaking good. Kind of reminds me of Adam and Eve's juice boxes. Was what I would say a childhood favorite, but I still drink it. And it's only 20 calories per bottle. No colors from artificial sources. It's just good stuff. I discovered it about a year ago, and sometimes I'm tired of it, but it's really good. It's kind of like a more flavorful vitamin water. If you're not used to it, you'll get used to it eventually. But let me get into the 11 ways on how I remain calm during chaos. And if you want to chime in, even if you don't catch a live stream, you want to share what chaotic thing you're going through and how you're going to get through it, feel free to share that. And I'll chime in and give my 2 cents, or maybe some of my subscribers, some of this community can chime in and help you with that chaos. Because sometimes you just need a community to help you with chaos. And that's, this channel's definitely it. I have a tab open of all the 11 ways. This time I wrote my outline on Notion. So I have to find a Notion tab because I'm a tab whore. I have a million tabs open at once. It was a habit that someone passed down to me. Where is it? Okay, I got it. I wanted to play really vibey music in the beginning because it's to me it's autumn. As soon as it hits September 1st, it's already autumn. So I wanted to play some music, start off the live stream with some swag. But I started off the live stream prior and the sound wasn't working. So I'm like, let's just get into it. So the first way that I remain calm in the midst of chaos, in the midst of having a tower moment, is I alchemize everything. Alchemy is pretty much, well, the definition of an alchemist is someone that can turn lead into metal or gold. And alchemy is turning something measly, turning something bad into something good. So whenever something bad happens to me, I'll find a way to make it work in my favor or benefit. Most artists do. And an example of this, let's say you found out someone in your life is fake. So you had to cut them off or something. You could, there's two options. You can either, well, there could be more options, but let's say there's two options. You could get really angry and be like, damn, this always happens to me. I can't mess with girls. That's why I can't be friends with girls, because all beaches are fake. Like, I'm trying not to cuss, but all bees are fake. Oh, whatever. Or you could alchemize that and say instead, well, now I know what to look out for when I'm making new friendships. Now I can really spot fakeness now that I've seen it in front of me. And I can use this pain from a friendship breakup, from an actual breakup, from anything that you've lost, and turn it into something better. Like, turn it into something to inspire you to become better. Use that pain to fuel you to go to the gym every day and become hotter. Use that fuel to put into your arts and make money. Because pain is power. You can make a lot of great pieces of art was created through pain. A lot of creations were created through the pain of not having that certain thing. So whenever something bad happens to me, I think to myself, how can I alchemize this? When I went through all of the breakups I have had once I started leveling up and setting standards and boundaries, I chose to not let that pain destroy me, to not like put the blame on myself. I sat and I acknowledged in what parts I played a role, but sitting in the chaos and not doing anything about it wasn't going to benefit me. So instead I alchemized it and used it towards myself. The love that I put on people that can no longer be in my life, I put it towards myself. And now it reflects outwardly and inwardly. And now looking back, it's like, thank God that happened. Alchemy is finding a way to make lemonade out of lemons. And if you do not have any sugar, make lemon water until you can source the sugar. Make pumpkin pie out of pumpkins. It's making something out of nothing. It's making nothing out of, I don't even make nothing out of something, but I was trying to sound poetic, nothing out of something, but no, don't make nothing out of something. Make something out of nothing. Damn, the sun is setting a lot faster than I thought it would. Let me see, I have like a sunset lamp too. That's kind of cute, but I don't want it like making me look purple until the sun goes down. That's okay. Okay. So, and some people I had someone comment saying like, there's something wrong with me for alchemizing everything and making it work in my favor. Like, what's wrong with me for thinking this way? It's like, why not? Why let a tower moment ruin you? Like, if you have the opportunity to build something from the pain that you were given, if you find a way to do something with what is disadvantaging you, that is freaking smart. That's just a great move to make. And it may take some brainstorming to figure out how to alchemize stuff, but there's always a way to make lemonade out of lemons. Most cases than not. If you just went through a breakup and you feel lonely and everything, you could use that time to date yourself, to learn yourself, to pour into yourself, to like learn more about what you need in a relationship, not just from other people, but what do you need from yourself? You can better understand the opposite sex if you're heterosexual, better understand things in life that can advance you. It could be a blessing in disguise. Another way to remain calm in chaos is through morning gratitude. No matter what, sometimes I miss the mark, but most days I strive to, if I can't get to my morning pages, I will, dang it, I have a journal that actually, I think it's the Bulletproof Journal. Well, I'm going to grab it for you so you can see it. Be right back. So I have this journal. What is it? The 5-minute journal. You can't really see it, but of course I got past that purple version. And pretty much it challenges you. You make an oath in the beginning and it challenges you to do it every single morning. And it just asks you, what are 3 things you're grateful for? What would make today great? What's a daily affirmation? And then at the end of the day, you get the journal again, and then you share your highlights of the day and what you learned. And I've learned a lot about myself through this. And it's like really hard to not progress and to not manifest when you're focused on things that already make you happy. So when I somehow, when I'm like too overwhelmed by the day, some mornings I should be doing it, but some mornings I really don't. And when I don't, I will just say gratitude out loud. I'll say it through prayer. Or just to myself, like I'll be like, okay, I'll just come up with a random number all the time. Like, what are 11 things I'm grateful for? What are 7 things I'm grateful for? 20 things I'm grateful for when I really need to get a boost. And it always puts me in a better mood, and it's just a great way to start your day. Even if it's not going to be the best, starting off your day saying, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that, I'm grateful for that, it pushes you through all of the things that aren't going well. And it calls in that energy to make things better versus starting off the day like, dang it, I gotta work up, don't want to do this, I hate this, oh, I gotta clock in, like that type of energy isn't gonna attract much. So why not get yourself in a state of energy that will? Even if it's not instant, it's never really instant unless you're like specifically manifesting something and you're like experienced with manifesting. I swear, I don't know if you guys can hear this, but I swear the loudest cars are just passing by my house. Another way to remain calm in the midst of chaos is making sure you're hydrated. I make sure that I'm hydrated. I always have a water cup with me or water bottle because when I'm hydrated, it can create the same side effects of me being hangry. My negative emotions are heightened when I'm hangry. So I always make sure, okay, if today's a film day, like let me have my water next to me. Sometimes I'll have 2 drinks, sometimes I have 3. But I always at least have one. Whenever I'm going out to do errands, I'll always try to like bring a water bottle or like a Starbucks cup. And it just helps me to not. My only anxiety attack I've had, I don't even think only. I might have had a few more, but my most intense like one that actually was like undeniable. I thought like my town was going to blow up because I was so anxious because I had so much on my plate. I was also dehydrated in the midst of all the things I had on my plate. So it was just all together created the circumstance of me like having the anxiety attack. I feel like if I was well hydrated and more in the present, I wouldn't have had that anxiety attack. It was when I was in college. I had like a college report due. I had like a YouTube video that was due that night. My dad was like, do the dishes. That needs to be done by the end of the night. And I was just like, I just want to watch Pretty Little Liars. So I just sat there and I just contemplated, like, when you have so much things to do, you just don't do any of it at all. I was like, okay, I'm not even going to do anything at all. Let me just enjoy this piece. And then out of nowhere, I just got an inkling that everything was going to blow up. I literally called my friend and was like, I think I'm going to die. I got to get out of here. Tell my mom. I called my mom, like, we got to go. Like, dad won't come because he thinks I'm crazy. I went into my dad's room and I'm just like, my dad and my stepmom. I went to my dad's room and I was just like, we're all going to die. We got to go. And I just started bawling. And my stepmom knew what it was because she's like college educated and she knows about psychology. She was like, you're having an anxiety attack. And it calmed me down a little bit. My freaking lips were vibrating. It was such a weird experience. It was a crazy experience. Like I was too scared to sleep in my room that night because I was like, the explosion's going to go through my windows. So I had to sleep in the living room because I was so scared. And it was just a mixture of me not taking care of my body in the midst of chaos. So not even just making sure you're hydrated, but just making sure you are well neutralized. I don't know the right word. Make sure you have nutrients in you. You're well like fed, you're well hydrated, you're making sure that you're giving to yourself in those ways. Because if you're depleted through all the chaos going on and you're not feeding yourself and you're not drinking, that can start physical complications. Even if you are hydrated, you could still end up with like physical complications, but not being hydrated could lead to like you becoming a lot more angrier and like not thinking clearly to get out of that chaos. Another way that I remain calm in the midst of chaos is remembering all the times I got myself through chaos. I think because I've experienced a lot of chaos and trauma growing up, I'm like advanced in how to handle stressful situations. And I've had a lot of people compliment me on it. And it just comes natural to this point. But just remembering one time you got yourself through chaos, if you aren't experienced, if you're in advance and like dealing with chaos, just remembering one time you got yourself out of chaos will help reassure you that if you were able to do it once, you can do it again. If you were able to get over that one breakup, you can get over this breakup. If you're able to move on from that one job that treated you like crap, you'll go on to the next. Like if you're able to take care of yourself and do things for yourself, if something is going wrong, you can make it right again, because at some point you were able to make things right when things went wrong. And thinking of all the times that I've manifested and alchemized and whatnot, it makes me panic less, because it's like I've got it in me. Like I already know this. I've been through this rodeo and I'm not going to let it like destroy me. And I think being consumed by chaos is a part of it, is not believing there's a way out. Through remembering how you've gotten yourself out of chaos, you can actually start to like remember your power to get out of it. Even if you feel powerless, if you just sit back, if you're calm enough to sit back and think, you might think a way out of that chaos. You might find a way out of that tower that's falling down, burning building or whatever. I feel like when I was in the beginning of the chaos that I've been going through, it felt like I was in a sinking ship. And there was no way out. And it also felt like I was in a burning building. And the only way out was to plummet to my death through jumping out of a window or waiting for a firefighter to save me. But that wasn't guaranteed, because firefighters weren't there yet. And I'm just sitting and burning, and it just felt like that. And it's through being calm and not panicking because of a fire that has led me to find a way out of it. If I panicked, I would have thrown myself out of a window, plummeted to my death, because I didn't think there was a way out. Through being calm, you can find a way out. And sometimes, most times actually, the way out will find you through being calm in the midst of chaos. I actually have this book, this little tiny, hold on, these flowers in my way. I have this little tiny little book. The 7 Laws of Spiritual Success. I want to read you an excerpt. I read this last night and I just really, really resonated with it. It's like through, hold on, is this the part where I'm supposed to share it? I'm like getting off script. But whatever, because it relates. Pretty much through dissociating yourself from the chaos, you can find a way out. And then I ironically, after writing this script, I picked up this book and I felt called to read the chapter 6, The Law of Detachment. I just want to read a little bit to you. Anything we want can be acquired through detachment, because detachment is based on unquestioning belief in the power of the self. The source of wealth or anything in the physical world is the self, the field of pure potentiality that knows how to manifest everything. All we need to do is nurture our deepest intentions in our heart and go with the flow. Detachment comes from an inner knowingness that when we are a pattern of behavior of higher intelligence, when things don't seem to go our way, we can let go of the idea of how things should be. We know that in our limited awareness, we cannot see the synchronistic harmonious patterns of the universe, of which we and our intentions are a part. Attachment, on the other hand, implies doubt and distrust in nature's intelligence and its infinite organizing power. Attachment is the melodrama of the ego because it is based on fear and insecurity, and this comes from not realizing the power of the self. Those who seek security chase it for a lifetime without ever finding it because security can never come from material wealth alone. People say, when I have $1 million, then I'll be financially independent, then I'll be secure. But it never happens. Attachment to money and security only creates insecurity no matter how much money we have in a bank. Attachment to symbols of wealth, cars, houses, banknotes creates anxiety because symbols are transitionary. I think that's how you say it. They come and go. When we exchange ourselves for the symbols of ourself, we end up feeling empty inside. The search for security is actually an attachment to certainty, to the known, and the known is the prison of our past conditioning. Freedom from our past lies in the wisdom of uncertainty. Without uncertainty, life is just the repetition of outworn memories. There's no evolution in that. So sometimes the reason why you feel like you're being consumed by chaos is because you're attached to whatever you feel like is outside of it. So detaching yourself and just remembering how you've gotten yourself out of chaos is definitely going to help give you the encouragement to remember the power of yourself, because you have the power to change your circumstances most often than not. I've done some pretty insane things that I didn't even think I could do through sitting back and detaching, questioning, and eventually figuring it out. Like, there's so many circumstances I've had. If I panicked, I wouldn't be where I am. I mean, this channel in itself, I could be panicking like, oh, no one watches me. I'm a small YouTuber. Like, I'm not going to get anywhere because I'm a small YouTuber. I should just give it up, pack my bags, and just start something else. Like, but I'm not panicking because I know the power of myself. I know the power of my words. I know the power of my content that I'm sharing. And I know there's people that appreciate it. And there's more people out there that will appreciate it and find it within divine timing. If I were to panic about how small of a channel I was, I wouldn't be doing the work to grow it, to grow this community, because it takes work, brick by brick. It's not just, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel and then like after a couple of weeks, after a couple of months, I'm gonna be the biggest. Like, I don't even want to be a big YouTuber. Honestly, I just want to build a big community of people who want to create their best lives. I changed my niche a little bit. I realized a lot of the things I want to talk about is for women. Like, after doing my last 2 videos, I was like, damn, I'm really passionate about this. Like, we've been going through it. Like, I don't have really anything against men, but I think my target demographic is young women. So I'm going to stop marketing towards creators, helping creators create the life they want. And I want to specifically start helping young women like myself to create the life that they want. And I'm excited. I was kind of late to this live stream because I wanted to do this live stream like around the beginning of the sunset, but I started it like mid sunset. So I'm trying to get through it before the sun goes down. If not, I guess I'll just have like my sunset lamp because, tomato. But I got lost in the sauce like Rick Ross because I was like, I had an idea come to me and then I wrote it out. And then after writing out the video idea, I then came up with another video idea because I just have so many things that I want to say, that I want to share that can help women. Things that have helped me as a woman. So I'm excited for that. Stay tuned for that. If you're not already subscribed, press that subscribe button and put your post notifications on so you don't miss out on my content. Whenever I'm live streaming, you can always join in and chat with me. I am a life coach and a YouTube coach. So if you need help with those things, then you can always ask me inside of a live streams until they get really jam-packed. Then it's like, I don't know, like I can't answer everything. But right now I'm like a hidden gem. I'm hidden it in the shadows until the light shines. And I don't know if I can like answer everyone once my channel like, whoo, and it's already starting to pick up a little bit more. I'm like really excited. about like all of the other content I have to give, because like the last 2 videos I was really in it, like, you know, like I really was just like giving my whole heart. I was really just like pouring, I was spilling all the beans, and I've got so many more beans to spill, and it's exciting, it's riveting, you know. But I wouldn't be able to appreciate this journey if I was too busy panicking about like, oh, listen, I'm not there yet. Like detachment is key. Detachment is key. You've got to enjoy the journey. It's not about the destination. A 5th thing that I do to remain calm in chaos is seeing things from a different perspective, like how things aren't as bad as it really is. Delulu at its finest, but it works. Let's say you get fired, and you're just like, this kind of relates to like alchemizing, kind of the same thing. But let's say you get fired, and now you don't have your main source of income, and you feel like life sucks. Something bad always happens to you. You're always getting fired. Instead of looking at it from that perspective, changing your perspective and seeing how it could have benefited you will make you feel like it's not chaos at all. It's a blessing. And then you'll see how it's a blessing more. So instead of being like, oh, I hate that I got fired. Oh, not the earring falling. Instead of being like, oh, I hate that I just got fired. Like, life sucks. Why me? Now I have to go through all this hassle. I wish I could stay. Like, I've never got fired from a job, but it happens. It definitely happened a lot during COVID. But instead of being like that, you could be like, you know what? I deserve so much better than this job. Thank you, God, for removing me from this environment. Now I can find better. Now I can find something else. This is God. This is the universe redirecting me to something else that's aligned with me. Like, clearly this was for my own good, because everything works out in my favor. Having that perspective, you're gonna have the attitude to go and get a better job versus, oh my God, things suck. I never get to. And it's like, you could still struggle with finding a new job, but the attitude of, you know, everything works in my favor, girl. The job is going to find you. You may create a job. Heck. Another way that I remain calm in chaos is screaming. Releasing, let's just call it releasing through breath work. Releasing through breath work. I don't go like, I mean, sometimes I do in a pillow, but releasing, like just singing. Singing is a way that I do it so I don't scare my neighbors, like belching. But sometimes I'll just like let out a sigh, you know? Anyone who knows me has probably seen me do this. And I'm not just like joking, like I'm literally releasing. Like, and I'm not doing it for show. It's like I'm literally releasing, like, maybe that's not a good thing to do in public, but sometimes I'll just, whenever I'm in the midst of like something, I'll just release it. Breath work, you know, like breath work. Do breath work. Don't scream in public, but if you've got to, screaming really does help. Singing, if you can sing, singing helps. I know maybe it might not seem like I could sing, but I can sing. I realized my last video, I was looking back at my last video and I was like, damn, this looks so freaking bad. Like, fuck. Why did I do that? But I'm specifically not giving an F and doing it anyways to show people that they can do it too. Like, your rough drafts are not something to be embarrassed of when you make the final draft. It's all funny and hee-hees and ha-has until you improve. You will start off being a rough draft. So if you're waiting until things are perfect, you will never get to the final draft. So I wanted to really show how bad my voice could sound without any vocal lessons, without taking some time off. And I want to show the journey of me finding my singing voice and getting better at music. Because any craft, any art is a journey. No one starts out freaking as Van Gogh. Like, Van Gogh has to paint a few things before he starts learning like the right strokes and stuff like that. Like, And through that last video that I did, where I shared a song, I have a segment called My Art, My Mind, where I share a piece of my art and share like the thoughts behind it with like some thought provoking like call to actions for you to help you if you're going through the midst of the same thing as me. It's like a really personal way, like an intimate segment where I share about what's going on with me, because I usually write songs about everything I go through in life. I realized that I used to be alto and soprano. Sometimes I can be soprano, but not all the time. It literally is like it comes and it goes, but I'm always an alto. And that last song I sung was definitely soprano when I'm an alto. So it just sounded like pure ass. But in my head, I can hear the alto version. So I'm really excited to get my piano and get another piano and find a way to make that version of a song alto to go with my voice, or work on my voice more so it's more soprano. Um, so yeah, screaming works. Releasing through breath work. Don't scare anyone. It's not hurt people's ears, but it helps me at least, and it can help you. Scream in a pillow. It feels really good. Sometimes just releasing through crying, honestly, can help too. I didn't even write that down, but just releasing through crying can help too, or listening to music. 7th thing that helps me to remain calm in chaos is filling my cup up no matter what the hell is going on. And you would have to know what fills your cup up. If you need some help with that, my next live stream will be on that topic. I'm going to share 11 ways that you can fill your cup up. But for now, I'll share 2 ways that I fill my cup up. One way is sun gazing. I love sun gazing. The sun literally feels like a hug from God for me. There are some times it hits different. I'm like, ugh. But most times the sun will just hit me and I'm just like, ah. And it just energizes me. I remember, like, if you've worked with me, I remember one job everyone knew at my job, I would like walk to the lobby, and when the sun would like shine into the window, I would just sit in the lobby like, huh? And no one batted an eye. I was just Malaysia doing what Malaysia does. And it gets to the point, I had a coworker that would tell me like, oh, Malaysia, the sun's out. Like, they would be like, oh, well, maybe she should work over here because, the sun's over here. Like, you know how she loves the sun. It's hilarious because I used to get bullied and because of my dark skin. And one of the things someone said was like, when I was like, I don't know how I got lighter, but I was actually darker. And when I was like younger, maybe it was just because I was out more, but I had someone ask me like, do you enjoy the sun? And I was like, why? And she snickered with all the guys. Because you're really dark. Yeah, she's really dark. So funny. Yeah, she's dark skinned. And it's funny because like now I actually do enjoy the sun a lot. And I'm not scared of becoming darker because fucking, oop, Sailor Mark. Just hit some triggered wounds. But because like I really love dark skin. Like, it's beautiful. I've found and mastered a way to show my melanin more on camera. Because like if I just pop up a camera, I'm gonna look more, I don't know. I'm just as confused as some people when I look at my old pictures when I was like super dark. But I actually found a way. I take an additional step to my content now to show my melanin because it's actually really freaking gorgeous. So it's a little 360 moment. I find that really ironic. Sun gazing helps. And another thing that helps me to fill my cup up is dancing with myself to euphoric music. A song that I really enjoy dancing to is Enjoy the Silence. That song from, that scene in Vampire Diaries where Damon and Vicky are dancing inside of the house? So freaking iconic. That's why I discovered the song, and it's just like ever since been my vibe. Like a couple years passed and I didn't really look up the song, but it's like my little fun dance song. I dance around the house with Pepsi. Do 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 do. I'll end off the live stream with the song. We'll end off the live stream with some music swag if we can. Freaking, I'm really hoping that the sun doesn't go down before then. But I'm on like I'm on like my 7th way. I still have 4 more. And I like to freestyle. I like to chit chat with y'all. It may seem weird because sometimes I don't have people actually in my lives, but I know that these lives will then be videos. So whoever's watching me is watching me live in their time. So I'm mingling with them even if they're not coming to the live stream. My live streams live on forever. So why am I going to like sit here and pretend like no one's going to watch them? Because people do. Another way that I have remained calm and another way that I remain calm in chaos is I mentally and physically prepare for the worst case scenario as much as I can. So it doesn't hit me like a ton of bricks. So I can actually plan, like, if this tower falls, let me have a cushion so I don't end up crumbling. If this ship sinks, let me figure out how I'm going to swim in this water. Let me like really practice these swimming techniques just in case I end up like drowning. Like, I don't know, like, let me see how long I can hold my breath, Yeah, sometimes the chaos hits harder when you're not prepared for it. Not even on some only dramatic scenarios. Like if you're working somewhere that's chaotic, like I've worked in coffee shops where we had to prepare for rushes, and if we just sat around and we weren't prepared for rushes, it would really hurt us a lot more than if we weren't. Like, prepare for a rush, prepare for, maybe today is like buy one drink, get one free. Prepare to like be able to like multitask, like prepare for the worst and expect the best is my motto. I used to have a different motto. I forgot what it was because now this one's mine. It doesn't apply to everything, but I like to prepare. And even if it doesn't happen, it's good to know what you're going to do if it does happen. Having a game plan for what you're going to do will really, like, if that worst case scenario were to happen, will really just make you more calm because you know that if it were to happen, you're going to be okay. Regardless, it may not be the best scenario, but you'll know you'll be okay just by thinking it through. Even if you feel like you won't be okay, just think it through. Like, if it really were to happen, like, picture, how am I going to find a way to alchemize this? How am I going to find a way to make this work in my benefit? What is a way that I can get through this? How can I make sure that I don't drown once the ship sinks? If it sinks, if there's no lifeboats. Excuse me. Another way that you can remain calm in chaos, and that I remain calm in chaos, is through herbs. From hot teas to smoking herbs. I usually, everything for me is in moderation, if not once in a blue moon. But it's not even just like weed. You could also like smoke different herbs. Like there are herbs that can help you sleep. I was just watching a TikTok about it. There's like this herb that helps you sleep, lotus flower. And you could put it in your tea. You can smoke it. You can, put it in soups. Just anything warm. Any warm drink really calms me down, like warm coffee, warm tea. Just having that at the end of a hard night or a busy night really helps. And yeah, another way that you can. Oh, also, I want to give a disclaimer. Like, everything works different for everyone. So if you're someone who is seeing this advice and you're just like, I've never tried weed, let me do this because this is what relationships like. Wait. Everybody reacts differently to different things. Some people have had anxiety attacks smoking weed. I know it's like normalized and stuff like that, but I know I've seen a friend who has literally like almost had to go to the hospital from like freaking eating an edible. Like, be careful. Well, whatever way you choose to like use herbs, do research, be careful. There's different types of herbs that you can smoke, different types of weeds that you can smoke. You don't have to smoke weed. You can actually, CBD juice is really great. I used to drink that all the time when I was working at my corporate job. I would get like CBD juice, and it would calm me down so much. CBD juice is everything. CBD. You can smoke CBD as an herb. Um, and you can also burn herbs to help relax you. Oh, I didn't even add this in. I guess I'll do a bonus. There's just so many things, but something that I didn't add in is smells. Smells can calm you. Every night before I go to sleep, I spray a little bit of Chanel 05, and that's what's mad bougie, but I'm being so serious. And it's funny because later on I found out that like Marilyn Monroe does it too. I've been like really vibing with her vibe lately. Like I love how she's like a beauty icon, but she's so freaking intelligent. I can resonate with that. Not saying I'm an icon, but like not saying I'm not. I feel like there's just something so poetic about being beautiful and intelligent and powerful and magnetic. It's goddess energy. Little hint at some content coming your way. I do plan to do some content around goddess energy. It's definitely the type of energy you want if you want to attract the things you want in life. But yeah, I just love to smell good. Essential oils, you can use like lavender. Sometimes when I'm feeling like sick, I'm having like some type of medical chaos, like my stomach is hurting, or I keep running to the bathroom or something because of some new healthy thing I tried. Um, Smelling peppermint oil really helps. Helps me to be calm. Wow, I'm thinking of more things that I didn't put in my outline as I'm talking. So this is going to be more than 11. Another thing that I do is taking a nice hot shower, and washing my hair is really, well, I usually condition more than wash. I condition my hair like, I try it once every weekend, but sometimes if my hair is like, if I feel like my hair is telling me to, like, it's feeling dry and I'm feeling called to do it, I'll do it twice a week. But when I put peppermint oil, I mix some peppermint oil sometimes in my shampoo, and that'll like, I feel so freaking good. You could just get like a peppermint shampoo or a peppermint kind of like curated conditioner. I love the smell of peppermint. I love the taste of peppermint. I love everything peppermint and pumpkin. Like I'm realizing that peppermint and pumpkin are just two things that I tend to cling on to. I've always put either peppermint or pumpkin in my coffee. I love peppermint and or pumpkin scented candles. Oh my gosh, peppermint inside of my hair feels really great. Just like having the tingles on your head just feels, don't just put plain peppermint oil because it could like burn your scalp. Mix it with some real oil like olive oil or whatever hair oil you use, and it just feels so good. It's literally my go-to whenever I have like a long day. Just put some peppermint oil, or if I have a headache. The scent of it can help, as well as like the feeling of it. Having it, lighting a candle, cleaning, and like having a nice smelling space, just like the smell of, what is it called? The smell of that lemon freaking mop stuff, Pine Sol, that in itself kind of like relaxes me. It feels good. I don't know if it's a nostalgic feeling of like my parents using it when I was younger and the clean funness of the smell of it. I don't know, but smells can help too alongside herbs, and I definitely recommend it. I recommend whatever calls you. I'm always kind of wary when I share about like ganja because it's like I don't think it's for everyone, and I honestly don't think it's the best first option. Because it can be addicting, and it is still a gateway drug, even if it's not for some. It could end up being one for you. Genetically, everyone's different. You may have addictive behaviors inside of your genetics, like addictive genetics. So if you're doing that, it could set you up. So I would recommend looking into like smoking non-THC herbs if you want to try smoking, because that actually helps a lot. That helped me just as much. But if you're used to smoking weed all the time, it might not feel as great because you're used to smoking weed all the time. But I am a CBD girly. Like I have a friend who only like smokes weed every day, hates CBD, doesn't understand it. She can't feel it because it's not, she's like immune to it at that point. But for me, CBD, I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm high just by looking at the sun. So explore your options. Look into all the different options of herbs and side effects. Another thing that I do to remain calm in chaos, and that you can too, is I sometimes another way, hold on, let me reword this. Another way is checking in on myself and emotions every single day. Sorry, I almost read something that was meant to be next, and I read it wrong. So we're gonna just keep up with me. I reflect at the end of every day at what made me upset, what made me angry, what made me happy, and just talking it out, writing it out, even just praying it out. It feels very relieving. Even if you're like talking it out with a friend, like ranting it out. You might even find some solutions through having these daily checkups and chit chats with yourself or God or whomever you're releasing your emotions to. I would even recommend a therapist. Therapy is not only for mentally insane people. A lot of us have childhood wounds and trauma, and just because it's not as bad as someone else's childhood wounds and trauma doesn't invalidate the childhood trauma you went through. Like, some people are just like, oh, well, therapy's for wusses. Like, you really didn't go through anything. Like, you could have like gone through this. You could have gone through that. There's no reason for you to go to therapy. But it's like, if there is something that you are struggling with, therapy helps you. It doesn't make you crazy. It actually helps you find sanity. It helps you to be okay with those emotions, from a professional that doesn't have a biased opinion. I see so many people promoting BetterHelp. I have nothing against it. I've tried it, but look into all different alternatives. Like, find a therapist that works for you. There's different programs. There's different places, affordable healthcare. Some jobs will offer therapy. When I was working at a coffee shop, they offered free therapy. And if people look at you crazy because you're going to talk to someone about your problems to find solutions to get it out of your system, they're crazy, because there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a stigma that is bad in some communities when it's really not. It's bad if you're not releasing the emotions you're holding on to. It can lead, if you're holding on to your emotions and you're not releasing it, it can lead to your mental complications will eventually lead to physical complications. There's been studies that have proven people developing physical diseases and issues because of their mental issues they've never dealt with. Check out the book. What is that book called? Becoming Supernatural goes into it a little bit. Is that what it's called? Becoming Supernatural. I have too many books. I haven't booked top to that book in a minute, but it shares a little bit about that in the beginning of a book, and I thought it was really fascinating. Dang, the sun is going down. Okay. Let me see. A lot of us are not expressing how we really feel. A lot of us are in denial of how we feel because we're too busy focused on how we should feel. If you're too busy focused on how you should feel and you're not addressing how you actually do feel, you are incapable of actually figuring out a way to deal with those emotions, which can manifest into not just physical complications, but complications in your relationships, complications at your job, complications with your business if you have a business, just complications all around, complications everywhere. It's a complication party. So I'm not going to therapy right now because my chit chats to myself and with God are like therapy. I have a lot of epiphanies and downloads and realizations when I'm praying and talking to myself. So it's like the last therapist I had, I literally would come up with the solutions for her. Like, I would be like talking about my problems, and then I'd be like, oh yeah, actually maybe it could be this. So I was like, what am I paying for? But I mean, every therapist is different. If you can't afford therapy, I highly suggest talking to yourself, having a conversation with yourself, having a conversation with your higher self. Document it, record it, you know, journal it, journal how you're feeling. If you don't want to write, and let's say you're an atheist, whoever you worship, deity or whatever, like your ancestors, like go to whomever you look up to for spiritual guidance and ask them, like talk to them. I like to often have conversations with myself as if I'm my own big sister, because I'm like the oldest of six. So like I'm really great at like giving advice and stuff, and helping. And I always have like the perfect solution for people that I love, but sometimes it doesn't come as easy to me right away. So I'll think of myself in the perspective of, what if I was my own little sister? What would I tell myself right now? And I have a whole live stream sharing this activity. If you want to do it, I was just doing that. I'm gonna link that down below for you in the comments. And through that, I'll realize all the BS I'm accepting. I'll realize solutions that were right in my face through just talking to myself through that lens, through that perspective. You need to release what is burdening you in order to thrive. Like, you could have all the money in the world, you can have all of the girls and get all the bitches, get all the guys, whatever thing you're striving to do. But if you have unreleased emotions, if you're not being real with yourself about what you desire and how you're feeling, it doesn't matter. You're still going to be miserable. An alcoholic cannot become sober if he hasn't admitted to becoming an alcoholic, to being an alcoholic. And sometimes it's not that bad. Like, sometimes what you feel is not, there's nothing wrong with what you're feeling. I feel like a lot of us may feel shame in what we're feeling. And it has something you have every right to feel, and your surroundings, the push ideologies of the environment you are in is the real problem that needs to be solved. Then it becomes a matter of being okay with not fitting in somewhere you're supposed to fit into, which is a whole nother video that I made. And I'll link down in the comments for you. I'll put like a fishy emoji for that video of like, if that's something you're dealing with, feeling like you're being rammed to fit this expectation you're not supposed to, I'll put a little fishy emoji beside the video in the comments. I'm going to pin it, and then it's going to have all the videos listed that I referenced for you to watch after this. Sometimes the problems you feel like you have, you might realize aren't even problems. They're just expectations that aren't meant for you to reach. A fish can't breathe on land, and most land animals can't breathe underwater. We're all humans, but we all have different desires. And sometimes the expectations people want you to live up to are things that will take away from your life force long term instead of filling you up. And the last way that I remain calm in the midst of chaos is, the last way that you can remain calm in the midst of chaos is, sometimes you just need to release intimately. In times of stress, releasing intimately can help. With a partner or even by yourself. It releases stress hormones. And ladies, if you need any recommendations, the rose toy never fails. So I've heard. Yeah, that helps. So I've heard. And yeah, those are 11 ways that you can remain calm in the midst of chaos. Let me know which was your favorite way. If you want to add to this discussion, please do in the comments. And look out for those links. I'm going to add them right after this live stream, so it should be already up while you're watching this by the time you're on this video. And I will see you in the next video. The sun is going down. I find it so fascinating how like lighting literally can change the way you look. Like, I cannot believe that I found a way to, because I would always get mad at, like, as soon as I accepted my dark skin, I realized like I don't even know how to film and show it, because like if I just put the camera in front of me, I look kind of like light. I want to say light skin. I just look regular chocolate, but the freaking way I've been filming lately, it just looks so like gold, dark chocolatey. And it's like in some lightings I am dark chocolatey, in some lightings I am like, you know, not as dark. And it confuses me sometimes. I'm like, what am I actually? It's like I look at my kid pictures, I'm like, wait a damn minute, like, huh? But yeah, I find it fascinating how like different lightings can like change the scenery of a video. Like beforehand, it was a lot brighter in the beginning of this live stream, and now it's like it's giving cinematic. So I highly recommend, if you're a content creator, to play around with the lighting. I prefer to film when the sun is hitting me. Natural lighting is the best lighting of all, at least for my skin tone. Especially during golden hour, I get the best pictures and best videos during golden hour. And sometimes I like it when the shade is like hitting me and you can see like the sun. I just feel so like ethereal. And my ring light is great. You know, I love the ring light and everything. But lately I've been really vibing with, it's a certain DSLR setting that I've learned to help to, she's bugging. She hears someone outside. It's a certain DSLR setting that I've figured out to like really and like show the richness of my melanin. I wish I could do that with all my pictures or like all my videos, but honestly, like I don't think I can with live streaming unless the freaking lighting is bad, or unless I use my DSLR for live streams, which eventually I just might do. I think being a content creator is all about looking at ways to improve each time. Again, your rough drafts are unbeatable. Like you cannot escape it. They're unescapable, I guess is a better word. So stop running from it and just do it. If you're holding back from doing something because you're like, I don't want to look stupid, I don't want to look dumb, like go look at my last video. I look really stupid singing that song that I shared, but I don't care, because at the end of the day, that's what creates art. It's being afraid to not be stupid. It's being not being afraid to be stupid, not being afraid, not be stupid, but not being afraid if you may look stupid, or not being afraid if you may not look the best. You know, through that you find what is best for you. I guess will be the closing notes of today's video. Definitely get yourself this book. It's been calling my name for a couple of years, and I finally got the small miniature version from Five Below. It's really nice. They have it like in every bookstore. It should be in the self-development section. You know, your girlie loves the self-development section. And I will see you in the next video.